name spacing, which is something that um, something that is often used with modules. So a great use for modules is again name spacing. You can do all sorts of stuff in a module, and it keeps it contained within that module. And that helps prevent conflicts with stuff that has a similar name that may be named someplace else in like your library, right? Like your code base. So say for example, you want to try the same problem, um, you know, for, but at different days, right? So maybe one day you had this one solution, um, but then a month later you had um, another solution, or even maybe you're trying to create a new solution for something that already exists in the code base, right? For for classes that are obviously they already exist, they have a name, but you want to try to implement them differently. Well, you can um, wrap wrap the existing stuff in a module. Just do a little refactor of that, and create a new module, and start to come up with a new solution, right? With the classes with the same name, or even if it doesn't already exist, maybe you have two different days, and you have two different ways of trying to solve it, and you can use namespacing, this namespacing technique, to kind of take advantage of that. So here in this example, I've got class MinFinder here and MinFinder here, right? So both of these, obviously, they're written differently, and you've got an initialization method, and it takes in a couple of values, right, parameters, and assigns them to some instance variables. But at this other day, I decided now to do it differently, right? So I've got these guys coming into an array instead. And so now we have a solve method, and this solve method is going through this if then else statement here, and it's doing some comparison. It's going to return which one of A and B is the smaller value. And likewise, the next day, I decided, hey, I could just use the min method that comes with Ruby to do that and give me that same functionality, right? But just doing it differently. So the way this works, you do your instantiation here this way. You can call the the modules, right, with these double colon symbols here, right? So I'm telling it, look in this first module for this class and instantiate this sucker at this location. And likewise, second day, look in this module and instantiate this class, right? And then feed these values. And then, run the solve method on both of them, right? So, you know, got some hash rockets sitting here. We just see what the values are. Just run it. So you can even see like when the hash rocket runs, that it's these things are actually implemented differently. So let's say you're not have the code in front of you. Like maybe you're working in your library of code, and you're making this call. But you can't obviously, you're not always obviously going to be able to see all the code just like this, right? Just one screen like this. But you can do this and run the hash rate. It's going to tell you some information about, how this CAD is being implemented with your implementation, with your variables, your instance variables. And yeah, so we got a solution, give the same answer, but we can see that we're actually using a different way of trying to approach the problem. And this can be very, again, beneficial. So you already have a code base, and um, someone else has written a class that's 20 or 50 lines long, and you figure out how to refactor it into something that's only 7 or 8 lines. Um, Clean up the code a lot better, and you can kind of use this method of namespacing to make things better. So anyway, I hope that's clear, and that is namespacing.